Friends for the game between Ghana, the host country, and then Niger. This is the final game for Group F as far as the 2025 Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations is concerned. We've played 5 matches already, and tomorrow we'll wrap it all up here at the Accra Sports Stadium. Just before I invite your questions, I would like to mention that, as has already been announced by the GFA on our official platforms, we had some injury situations in camp after the game against Angola. So 4 of the players have been ruled out of tomorrow's game. They include a captain, Jordan Ayew, Alidu Seidu, Abdul Fatawi Shahaku, and then Gideon Mensah. For Fatawi Shahaku, his situation is quite dicey, because even if he had not injured himself in the game against Angola, he was still going to be ruled out of tomorrow's game because of accumulation of yellow cards. So that's it by way of information. The game kicks off at 4 p.m. tomorrow, and I have the head coach of the Black Stars, Otto Addo, here with me. I would find out from him how things have been, how the journey has been so far, and then I will invite your questions. Thank you. So, Coach, if you can sum it all up regarding how things have been since the commencement of the qualifiers in September until now, and then we will take their questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, I mean, to sum it all up, everybody's disappointed. I'm disappointed. I knew before I took the job that it's going to be very, very difficult, because surely, I think the last, 6, 7, 8 years were very, very difficult for the Ghana Football Association, for Ghana as such as a country. I knew it also before I took over to qualify for the World Cup. And so things are always on the edge, and surely I know we could have done better. I think we didn't lost it at the last game in Angola. The boys tried. We had a lot of new players coming in. They haven't played together. We had just a short time of training. So very, very difficult circumstances with a lot of injuries. But yeah, I think I said it before. We lost it, especially in our home games, where we played well, but we didn't score goals, and I think that was crucial in all for not qualifying. This is football sometimes. I know it's very, very difficult for everybody to accept, but we have to move forward. That's the only way which will help us, and everybody who wants Ghana to succeed have to look forward now, 100%. It would be wrong to blame it now on players who are playing tomorrow. Out of, I think, those 22, maybe 15, 16 haven't played the AFCON qualifiers, and to be, let's say, harsh on them wouldn't make any sense. I think it's a good chance now for a lot of players to show themselves. Hopefully they will use their chance. We have seen, I think, some players who used these chances in the last game, and I hope that more players will use this chance. And we're looking forward to the game tomorrow to beat Niger, not to end up last. We want to beat them to at least, for our honor, get the 3rd place. And this is what we're working for. And for this, I know it's very, very difficult, but surely, again, we need the support. And if any one of us wants to make Ghana better, the players need support. That's all I can say. Meanwhile, I understand that people are disappointed, maybe angry. I was also disappointed, but surely we have to move on now. We have to move on, and we have to do our best to prepare for the World Cup qualifiers now, and it starts tomorrow.
Your as journalists, we are in between the fans and you, the technical team. Ever since the last chain of results, every time someone meets me, the first question they ask me is, what happened? And for the first time, I don't have an answer, honestly. I don't know what to say. I feel like, well, when I meet the coach, I'll ask him what really happened, because from where I sit, I don't have any answer. That's my first question. Secondly, sometimes I say I feel for you, because in English we have something we call the vicissitudes of life. How?
And to your second question, to the first question, what happened? I tried to sum it up. I think the base in these qualifiers are the home games, and I wished we would have played bad but won anyhow. You know, but to be honest, we played well, but we were lacking scoring goals. You know, and I think it's a complex thing. It's maybe more psychological. Surely there was a lot of hatred coming from outside against me, against maybe the team, and yeah, I can just ensure you that I think in all, sometimes it affects the players, and we need support. That's all. If all of you want Ghana to win, we are very down now. If you don't want us to go to the World Cup, then you can continue and then you can hammer on us, okay? But if you really want us to go to the World Cup, we need support. That's all I can say.
Coach, Solomon Kojansan Semanuel have been assaulted and multifarious opinions among we Ghanaians, the football fanatics. I just want some assurance from you that Otto Addo is the best man for Black Stars as a head coach.
I mean, this question, I don't like to speak about myself like I'm the best or whatsoever. This is not my nature, you know. People can judge me, and surely most of the people will judge me by the results, which were not good. But I have friends, I have mentors, I don't know if you know, but I trained under Matthias Sammer. I was trained under Klopp. I was trained. I was assistant to Otto Terzic, who was the Dortmund head coach. And surely we exchange. And for me, this is relevant. You know, if they say this or that, and they're also critical with some things, and I understand this, but this has much more value if I speak to Jurgen Klopp and he stays with this or that, or if I send him maybe some scenes, then somebody from anywhere saying, oh, blah, 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 this is bad. You know, so I try to get better every day, but I can assure you that I also question some games, but to be honest, like I said, especially the home games, we played well, but we didn't score, and this was a missing point. And it's very, very difficult at national level because you don't just have 3 days. Now we had 2 days of training, and then to play again, and to get things together, get things done. And sometimes in football you can do everything right. If you don't score, you lose. It's like that. And sometimes you play bad, you win. Sometimes you play good, you lose. It's like that. And I have to accept it. At the end, like I said, the results should have been better, much better. Also, let's say the away game in Niger was also crucial. And I don't make it to the. I don't think the last game was that. I mean, surely at the end was crucial. Also, we could have, if we would have won, we could have had a chance today. But I think we lost it, especially in the home games, where this is the base of everything to win these games.
Okay. Hello, Coach. My name is Kwesi Ofer from Pola. So I want to know, will you now give more opportunities to the local-based players after his impressive performance against Angola? That's my question.
So for me, again, it's not about local players or non-local players, it's about performance. You're right, he did well. I saw him at Nations. You know, I've been going around in Ghana, you know, to watch matches, and he's one of the players which caught my eye. And I think he justified it in the last game, and I hope he will continue.
Good afternoon, Coach. My name is Ebenezer Sadari, a sports journalist from Joy Sports. Speaking of moving on, you said something about the players. Let me rephrase the question. That we played very well, but we couldn't get the goals. So,
in the home games, okay, please. In the home games.
Yeah, the home games. We played very well and couldn't get the goals. Henceforth, are we going to see more of not necessarily focusing on playing the best of football, but getting the win?
Yeah, it's it's part of my philosophy to play good football, and I think it's how I see the Ghanaian footballers. I want them to have joy. I want them to be in a construct where they feel well, where they feel home. And I think this, if you watch the home games, you saw it. It's just the end product, and sometimes it's just little margins. It's like the ball is going to the post. If I think about Jiko's header, inside or outside. Sometimes it's even away when we played against Sudan, we scored a regular goal and it was not given. So these are little things which are missing, but which are very decisive, and which can turn the whole story, or could have turned the whole story around. But at the end, this is football. This is football, and this is what happens. And we have to learn out of this. We have to do better. Especially then also when we don't score, we have to work on our defense as well, not to concede. That the zero at least will stand. And so there's much space for improvement.
Okay, so my next question. Speaking of defense, this current Black Stars team has, for me, my observation the past 3 years is we've had a very good, we are mostly defensive minded, but in the course of being defensive minded and trying to sit back, we end up conceding. But from what I know, it's the best form of attack. The first form of defense is attack. So why defending instead of attacking? Because let's take the previous game for instance. There were times, for example, Jordan had the ball, tried to maneuver around the opponent and maybe tried to give a cross. But any time he kind of looked up, there wasn't any white-shirted players, Ghanaian players in the 18-yard box. So can I say, that's why I asked the first question, henceforth, are we going to see more of attacking football instead of us sitting back trying to prevent our opponents from getting at us?
Yeah, but okay, did you see the home game we had against Sudan?
Yes, I did.
Was it attacking football or defensive football?
From what I saw, it was more of a balance. But at the end of the day,
okay. We had 16 corners. They had 1. We had I don't know how many shots on goals. We had a lot of chances, and so are we really talking about now? This was not attacking football. I don't want to offend you, really, but we have to really. If you say when we played Mali, okay, it was more defensive, but we were leading 1-0, and it's a different approach. Sometimes it comes also with the results, but also Angola, when we played them at home, we created a lot of chances. So, and the ball possession was 60-40 or something. So for me, it was more offensive, but maybe I don't know how we see it, so I'm really surprised.
Okay, so with my third and final question, it has to do with officiating, the performance of the referee.
Excuse me?
It has to do with officiating of the game, the performance of the referee. Yeah, the referee.
Which referee?
In our previous game against Nigeria. Sorry, the one we just played recently against Angola, yeah.
You want his comments on
the performance on the referee. Because from
the last game?
Yeah, the last game. Because I saw certain chances where our players were brought down, 50-50 chances where it should have been our advantage or even a foul in our favor, and it was
Yeah, it's difficult. If the referee was okay, I've seen worse referees, to be honest, and I know, let's say, for example, the penalty, for example, he lifted up his leg before he didn't even touch it. So if there would be VAR, I don't think it would be a penalty. But at the end, also Nuruddin, he had a great save, also had a great day, and for me now to talk about the referee, difficult.
So, Coach, looking ahead to tomorrow's game, what's going to be the approach? Because we know it's particularly of no consequence to us. We are not qualifying. What's the approach towards the game? Is it from now we are going to rebuild the team? Because I've seen you invite a lot of younger players. So what's the approach towards the game? And also, one more question. Sometimes I see your body language towards some of the questions we ask at press conferences. Do you think as a country we major on the minuses, the things that don't matter? Because I see at press conference, people ask you questions and you sort of look at them with a certain eye as if you feel those are not the questions that are supposed to be asked, or you think we don't place too much focus on what you think is important.
Yes, sometimes. I mean, like, if I get a question, why are you sweating so much, then sorry, but for me, it's not relevant, It's we're fighting we were fighting to survive, to do something to win, and then if I get this question, for me, it's out of space, to be honest. And the first question was what again? Yeah, this is also difficult, like, why should I mean, I would love to tell you this, but, okay, so first of all, we have a lot of injured players. It's not only us, it's also other national teams. It's also a lot of clubs, like my former club, Dortmund, they have like 10 players injured. So it's quite difficult because they have a lot of games, the players, my prayers are really with those who are injured, especially Fatau is going to be, I think, a very serious injury. Hope not, but could be, and my prayers are with him. In this situation, I always like to thank everybody who's coming committed to play and give his best for this country. And when somebody gets injured, it makes me very, very sad. And surely now it's an opportunity for new players to come to show themselves. And I can't tell you more about the approach because surely I don't want to prepare our opponent on how we should want to play. Yeah, the mindset is always the same. Always the same. I mean, I don't think there's somebody, even when let's say we play a friendly match, I want to win, There's no way I will just go and play and I want to lose, But the mindset is always about winning. It's always about do the best, and I think if we want to give positive examples, we have to maybe mention Razak Simpson or Manaf, as just two. But I don't like to point out, but this is what we want to see. To play out all their hearts, everybody was fighting. We had players like Gideon Mensah, like Addo said, they had problems before. They couldn't train the whole week, but they came to play. This is what we want to see, to die for the country. Now, surely the problems are worse. After the game, they can't play, but, I want people to know that it's not always like oh, this guy don't want to play, or this, they had problems before. Big problems, but our medical team, they worked day and night. Would have liked you to see how they worked on them, and congrats to, and also thanks to them, for making it happen for the players to play. And they all have a schedule. It's not always easy for them, and they're trying their best.
All right. Before the Angola's game, you were being described as a disciplinarian and a tactical strategist by one of our local coaches, Frimpong Manson. And looking at some of the reasons why some players withdrawn from our final squad to face Angola, some weren't all that pleasant to me. The likes of, I just don't want to mention names. Yeah, no, like the 8 players that were being ruled out of Angola's game due to injuries. Yeah, some weren't all that pleasant to me. Being a disciplinarian, is it that you are going to build a new Black Stars team that is being anchored on youthfulness or local players, just in case maybe you need a team to play a crucial match and these players are not around?
Okay, so I didn't quite get your question. So you said I said someone
Now, from the
your
reasons
point.
they gave out,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No.
Sorry, coach. Maybe before he explains, there was a